introduce one of our teachers for SAISD who works with all of our children who are deaf and has worked with them for a long time. This is Brenda Wellen, and an angel on earth, I hear from a number of people.
Oh, thank you.
And you've worked with children who are challenged by hearing loss for over 20 years.
That's correct, yes.
That is amazing. And you travel from school to school where they're currently going to school.
Yes.
And work with them. And you have right now?
I have about 15 students that I work with.
Okay. And what kind of things do you help them with?
Most of all, it's language skills. Sometimes it's working with the interpreters. Sometimes it's working with the teachers, with accommodations, with any number of things, any kinds of issues that come up that teachers may not know about, or teachers have questions with, or students have questions about. So I work with lots of varying degrees of deafness and varying degrees of capabilities, cognitive levels. So it's a very interesting job.
Well, and you are almost totally responsible for helping teachers in the regular classroom learn how to provide accommodations, because I didn't learn accommodations for deaf children when I was in college.
No.
And so I would imagine they are sponges wanting any ideas that you can give them. And you then, a child who starts in our district, you will have them often from the time, some of them are 3 years old, all the way through graduation.
Yes.
Are most of them young now or older? How is that mix now?
We have some big gaps in, we used to have a self-contained classroom, and we had enough students in those classrooms to sustain our early childhood and elementary classrooms. But now the population has somehow waned, and we don't have enough to sustain that self-contained classroom. And so for those reasons, they're out in the mainstream. Lots of them are out in the mainstream classroom. Some of them still receive services in a self-contained classroom for other reasons than just deafness, but they're served in the mainstream classroom. And so we have I also serve students from the 0 to 3 range, so birth to 3, so I work with ECI. And we have students, so I have students in that range, that age range, and then I have some in the elementary, and then we have a big gap from there to middle school, from the lower elementary grade to middle school, and then from middle school we have just a few high schoolers left.
Well, you mentioned ECI, early childhood intervention. We have children, as soon as a parent can realize they need help, can get help, even though their child may not be coming to school. I want our audience to realize that. You are here today primarily to talk about a program or an event that, if I'm understanding right, you started some years ago, and that is the Deaf Ed Olympics.
Yes.
And how long ago did you decide this would be a great thing?
We started in 2005. This will be our 10th year, so we're very excited about this anniversary year. We started at the big stadium, San Angelo Stadium, and we had about 30 students. It was just our student, Region 15 students from, we have Del Rio, we have small schools, San Angelo, Brownwood, and Early, and so those students all came, and we had a great time, and we decided that we were going to continue this. So with the help, of course, of Jana Anderson and the help of Martha Elder over at Region 15, we just continued the program, and it's grown and grown and grown and grown. And so now we have included schools in Ector County, Lubbock, and this year we have over 120 competitors coming.
Oh my goodness.
So we're nervous and excited.
Well, I've been privileged to be able to go several years, but I do not believe you've had 120 in prior years.
Mm-mm.
That is an amazing opportunity for children to get to do this. What special accommodations, to use a word we've already talked about, do you make to allow a child who has very little or no hearing to do races and other events in this event?
Well, of course, there are lots of visuals involved, and we also have interpreters there. So the teachers bring their interpreters, and then we have interpreters who volunteer for the event. And so for that, we have those staff members coming from those districts and from our district and community as well helping. And so it's really a lot of fun. We have ages 4. We've had competitors as young as 3 come, and we have all the way through high school.
So
students.
Tell us some of the events. I particularly remember running, a lot of running.
Yes.
So what else are they allowed to compete in?
Well, we have about 8, usually 7 to 8 individual events, and they include some of the more traditional track and field events such as the dash and the long jump and the ball toss and things like that. And then we also have an obstacle course, and we have a rock wall, and so the kids just really have a good time with those events. They come more to climb and run and just be with each other, because it's such an isolating experience to be a deaf student in a sea of hearing people. And so many of our students are and sometimes they're the only deaf student in their district or in their school. And so for them to be able to come and see other students who have those same kinds of challenges is really, it's really great when they can see that there are other people just like them who struggle just like them, but who also have success just like they have. And so for this event, everybody wins, everybody leaves with a smile, everybody leaves happy, and so we have a great time providing this for them.
Now, when I have attended, it's been over at Old Bobcat Stadium. Mm-hmm. Is that where you're having it this year?
We don't get to have it at Old Bobcat this year because Old Bobcat is getting turf.
Okay.
So in a panic, we were panicked, but we found we were able to get Lakeview Stadium.
Okay.
So
and it's, remind me which day in May?
It's Friday, May the 2nd.
Okay.
And ours is during the school day.
Good. And what time is that?
Starts about 8:30, and then we have team events. So for the students who come a little bit early, we've got lots of support from the Central High School volunteers. Connie Bozarth is bringing her PE Partners class. The ROTC is bringing volunteers. The TAFE, which is a Texas Association of Future Educators, Sandra Godwin is bringing students from her class, and they're all going to be helping on the field with the students working at the different events. And so we start about 8:30, and then the ROTC will do their presentation of the colors, and then we'll get started with all the events. And we have free lunch for everyone. We have water for everyone. We just have a great time.
Well, it is very, it's a compelling event. I can't imagine anybody who goes not being incredibly moved by how appreciative not only the students are, but their families. And then just like at the Special Olympics over at our stadium and back in the basketball season, the children who do not have physical challenges that are helping those that do, it is a life-changing event for those kids. They everybody wins. And Connie and other PE partner classes, plus these ROTC kids, and then Sandra Godwin's students, will get as much out of this event as do the children who are your students.
Mm-hmm.
What has been through the years your greatest, and I didn't prepare you for this question, but is there something that has had the greatest impact on you about this event?
Probably the solidarity of everyone when we were there. Last year we had a student who had been coming for the past 9 years who was diagnosed with brain cancer. And so we decided that within our event we were going to use all the money that we raised. We had different things to donate for, so that we could raise money for this student, and we raised almost $1,200 to help her family in support of that. And she's doing fine. She's going to be at our Olympics this year. We're excited to see her again. She may not be able to compete in all the events as she did formerly, but she's going to be there, and I can't wait to see her. She's looking great. She's been through chemotherapy. She's been through radiation, and she's doing great. She has a good attitude, and I can't wait to see her again. So.
Wow. So that is an amazing story, and I hope to come to your event and look forward to seeing this young lady and all of your students and the students from all our sister cities who will be transporting and bringing these children along with many of them bring in parents and grandparents to root on everybody. Well, I can't thank you enough for your idea to start this a decade ago, how it has grown, and what you have contributed to the positive memories and the self-esteem of these children who so deserve this. Way to go.
Thank you. Thank you for having me.